Hey y'all, it's Crystal from Triple C Creations Crafting coming to you from the beautiful North Georgia mountains, even though it's raining today. And we are doing a fall craft. So we're going to be making a pumpkin, and this is out of a scrap 2x4. So my husband's doing some work in the basement, and I saw this pile of 2x4s. You can see it's still got a pencil mark, even I sanded it, but I wasn't worried about sanding that off. So this was, I haven't even, I didn't even cut this. This is literally a scrap that I picked up out of his scrap pile. So all I have done is I've sanded off some of it, and then I'm going to paint it with this Waverly chalk paint. Now, some things that I am going to use for this, I do have my sanding block. I think this came from the Dollar Tree. It's got the little handle on it, so this is my preferred one, like if I'm doing a lot of sanding. I do have some Mod Podge. This also came from the Dollar Tree. You're hearing a theme already. I have this set of napkins and this is the only set of napkins I've been able to find for this project so far, because this is the one, this design, the way it's laid out is what will work for me. And what else? Oh, I have some ribbon. I had to look all over for this year, y'all, with some fall ribbon from the Dollar Tree. I don't know if it was $1.25, $1.50, $1.75, but it was one of those. And then this is some ribbon. I actually got this at the Dollar General on clearance. It was $3.15. I did not pay for $3.15 for it, though. I paid much, much less. I guarantee that. So this is just something I had in my pile, some burlap ribbon. And then I do have some stems cut. I'm not sure where I put them right now. I'll have to find those, but I will find those. And then I'm going to show you, once we finish this one, I'm going to show you some others that I made, some other samples. So I'm going to pause the video and I'm going to go ahead and paint, because nobody wants to watch me paint or watch paint dry. So we'll see. Okay, so my paint is dry now. Now this was chalk paint. This is the Waverly Ivory. This came from Walmart. Did not come from the Dollar Tree. As far as I know, they don't carry chalk paint unless it's on the high priced aisle, and because I never go down that aisle. Now chalk paint is very thick, and so it can take a lot if you want to cover it completely. But to me, if I'm using chalk paint, I want to kind of see I don't want it to be solid. So I did a very light coating of this. If you want even more of the wood to show through or to look even rougher, you can, once you've painted, take a paper towel and wipe some off after let it dry a little bit, so you don't wipe it off completely. You can also take your sander now, and you can hit up the edges, or the front, however you want. If you want to take off more, it gives you have a lot of control over that. I didn't even paint the bottom. So but next I took my Dollar Tree napkins. Now these are 2-ply. I pulled this out of the trash, and the nice thing about this is when I opened them up, because I really didn't know until I opened these up, you can hear my vacuum in the background, I'm trying to do this. I don't have my phone in my holder. My new phone case doesn't fit. It's like an act of Congress to get it in. But when you open this up, it has 4 designs. So I could actually do, if I was doing this, I could do 4 pumpkins with one napkin. Now, I did take one of those panels and I cut around the design, not completely. It does have a cream colored background, so it's okay that I didn't do it, completely. And this is a 2x4. It was my design's a little bit too wide, but I can decide, which way do I want to go. I could just wrap it even. I could even, if I wanted to do, pull it this way and wrap it around the side, I could do that also. But I don't think I want to do that. I think I want more pumpkins on the front. So I may trim both sides, or I may just wrap it around. I think I'm just going to wrap it around. So now I'm going to, and it was 2-ply, sorry, I kind of skipped that part. It was 2-ply. So I did pull the extra ply off. So this is only 1 layer. So that's why if your directions say how many ply it is, that helps you know, do I just have that top layer? Because you want it as thin as possible. And now I'm going to take my Mod Podge that I got at the Dollar Tree too, because then I can kind of squirt it on. And you could use a foam brush, but I've got these are actually Mod Podge brushes from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to apply some and get my pumpkins on, get my napkin on. Okay, so I have decoupaged my napkin onto it. Now, remember, it had a very light colored, kind of cream color, kind of a wood, maybe even background, and it blends in really well with that cream. That's why this napkin I thought worked well. Because of that, I didn't have to, cut all the berries out. So I was able to use it, even though the light's kind of picking it up, I think making it more noticeable. But some of them had like stripes going up and stuff. I mean, you could cut that out, but this was the napkin that I thought would work best. I have taken 2 of the pieces of ribbon, and I've cut about a 6-inch for this. I used about a 6-inch. Now, I am not a bow expert. I will say that. I wish I was one of these people that could just make the most beautiful bows. I'm not. And then I fishtailed both ends. So I'm going to gather those together with just a piece of twine. So it's really not a bow. And then I took some of my Dollar Tree flowers that I got. I snipped one off. Be careful when you're snipping your flowers off, because if you snip them too close, you actually, like, I'm going to hot glue this on, and if you don't, then your flower can actually come apart because this piece will just slide out and you'll have 2 pieces of flower instead of a whole piece. And then I actually cut off some of the leaves, and I'm going to use these. I did find one of my stems, so this is just a piece of lamb that I found, and I had my husband use his chop saw and cut it off about 2.5 inches. I got my glue gun prepped, and I'm going to assemble it now, and then I'll show you the final product and the other pumpkins that so here is my final pumpkin, and you can't really see the greenery. Maybe next time I will move it up, or maybe move it a little bit closer to the front so it'll stick out more. I actually glued it under my stem, but I'm pretty excited about my bow. I love the flowers. I don't feel like the colors are showing up as good in the video as they really are, but it matches this. My thought too is everybody would make maybe 3 pumpkins varying heights that match. I have not. Mine are all different. So let me show you mine. So we made this one that is the cream chalk paint with the napkin decoupaged on it. Then I did another, and this is another tall one. And this one I stained. It has burlap ribbon wrapped around it. And these are actually some rolled flowers. They're out of like felt that I got out of a kit at the Dollar Tree. So there were cream and gold flowers and leaves. But you could also use like the silk flowers like I used on my other one. And then it's got some tulle and some like ripped fabric ribbon at the top. So there's that one. And again, if my thought is if you whatever type you pick, you would do 3 matching ones. Now my middle one, I used a piece of, I think this is maybe a 2x6, and so instead of being just a middle one, like in between height, it's short and fat. This one I did just basic orange. I watered down my orange apple barrel craft paint, and then I sanded the edges a little bit. And it's got some football ripped fabric at the top. So just a different type look. You could also decoupage some of that fabric onto the front, or maybe even add a football to the front if you're wanting it football themed. And then my short one has the little twine bow at the top. This is actually paper that I decoupaged on it. I stained this one. It's got paper decoupaged on the front. And then this is one of the Dollar Tree laser cutouts. I painted it black. It's an owl. And it's got some of this like berry, it's wire with orange and red berries on it. And y'all, I cannot find this year. So I've found it before. They always have it for the fall. They always have it typically for every holiday. And like fall and Christmas, it's fall you can get the orange and red. Christmas you can get red and maybe white. I think they have it for Valentine's Day. But I've not found any this year. So I'm disappointed because I really wanted it for this project. And I've just, it's whatever I've got left. So those are my 3 that I made. Let's see if I can get those in. Again, I'm not using my phone stand. But I had fun making this project. I really did. And I can't wait to see what the ladies at church come up with. There's just so many different combinations you can make. Use what you have too. If you're a scrapbooker or a card maker, you've got paper, but a pack of napkins from the Dollar Tree is super cheap. You're just going to have almost 100 designs out of a pack of 24 because it was 4 on each napkin. But And think I only use like 6 inches of ribbon of my colored ribbon or printed ribbon. So altogether I use like a foot of ribbon. And so it does not take a whole lot to do these projects. And again, this was scrap wood. So if you know anybody in construction, anybody that builds houses, You know, have them save your wood. Actually, if it quits storming here, I'm gonna go down and my husband's gonna show me how to use his chop saw, and I'm gonna cut up some longer pieces of 2x4. It's still scrap, but I'm gonna cut it down so that I have different sizes. And then hopefully I'm going to use the belt sander, and I'm going to go ahead and sand them down for our craft night at church. So guys, if you like this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up, leave me a comment, subscribe if you've not subscribed. Until next time, see you later.